Okay, 2016 Ford Fiesta. Customer states vehicle stalled. Sat overnight. Started up the next day. Check engine light is on. Vehicle runs fine. Doesn't run any different. Tell me why. So let's get into the computer and figure out what's going on with this thing. Okay, so what I have in here is I have P1456, which is typically some kind of purge valve issue. And then P14 or P1450, unable to bleed up tank vacuum. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run an EVAP test and see if it passes. I'll be back with that. Alright, I already went through one time and it failed. It directly seems like it's the purge valve, but before it failed it said take that filler cap thing that's in the trunk by the spare tire and rod that the capless system, because they want to make sure that seals good around that flap inside there, and you got to put this in there like I did like 10 times and then stop, and then they want you to go back and start the test again, and it actually died when I first started it, and then now it's trying to go back through its testing again. It's more than likely going to fail again. I'm going to have to put a purge valve on this thing. So the new one is D2BZ 9CharlieO47F. And this is what it looks like. It's got this pre-tension clamp on the end, and then it's got this assembly here, a quick connect. Basically, if we look in the back of the engine, right down in there's a green connector on the bottom. I'll put my hand on it right here. You follow it up, it's got a green tag right here, comes up on the outside. Underneath here it's got that bracket assembly right here, and then it goes back down, and there's a pre-tension clamp down in there. I don't know if I'll be able to get you a better view. I don't think I will, but pay attention to where it goes. It's down here, you'll see. That part right there that's moving, it's recording now. Alright, so I have a pair of these pre-tension clamp pliers. I'm going to feed it a specific way here. I've got the valve pulled off. There's no reason to really change the bracket. You can put a nice new shiny bracket on if you want, but there's no reason to do that. Pull the valve off of it and reuse the old bracket. I'm going to feed this in through the bottom here, and I'm going to come out and there's a clamp down there. You see I got the clamp moving it, kind of moving it around. And then once I get the clamp off of it, back up some. Should be able to pull it off now. I'm going to pull this wire up out of the way and get this metal clip down here out of the way, and then I'm going to reach down in there and grab that metal clip that's off, and then try to grab the top of the tube. I don't know if you can get in here and see what I'm kind of fighting it to come off. It's a little bit of a chore to get it off of there. Work it a little bit, it'll pop off. So here's the old one. You can see the nipple. You can see the nipple right there where it goes now. You just have to be careful not to tug on the plastic part when you go to pull that line off, because you'll break the nipple. I tugged on the outside where the soft part was away from the nipple and pulled it off. You be very, very careful. Now I'm going to install the new line. Now what I have is a long pair of needle nose, and I put it on the back side. You can't see very much because I don't have a lot of room to show you what I'm doing here. But you see I got it on the back side of the rubber part of the hose, and I just pushed it on the nipple, and now it's on all the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and reach down there and push that clamp on. Okay, it's installed now. Just go ahead and snap all your lines and stuff back in. You could see kind of like a little bit of it right there. The reason I don't change the bracket is I've seen guys change these brackets and snap this little ear off the intake manifold, and I don't want to be that guy. The bracket don't mean nothing, it's just a bracket. So I went ahead and plugged my sensor back in, snap my line back in here, and then I wedge back in there and push that all the way over the line, and then clip this on and then pull back to make sure there's nothing. Now I'm going to run my EVAP test. The engine is way more stable now. I just started it up and it stayed smooth the entire time. It didn't shake and shudder or anything like that. It fired up immediately, which is a huge indication that that's the problem. Now it's actually moving and pulling target vacuum, where before it wasn't pulling any target vacuum at all. So that needle was stuck there before. Now it's actually pulling it. And now it wants to read fuel tank pressure. Before it wouldn't even make it this far because the purge valve was stuck open. Okay, that was the problem. We have a successful pass test. The EVAP system is clear now and everything functions as it should. Thanks guys. Remember to thumb up, subscribe to the channel. Be blessed.